Welcome to MDickie Empire Discord server's FAQ session with MDickie. We sent an email with a few questions for MDickie to answer. And the answers are here. The FAQs have the stuff which most people want, like, will the game get released for Android? Or will you add Hell in a Cell? And he answered them like a champ. Sorry for me using text-to-speech. It's annoying, but it should do for now. If you want to ask questions of your own, kindly join our Discord server, link is in the description. You can send it to him through individual emails too, but it is easier for him to answer it in a bunch. Also sorry for any typos. So without any further ado, let's get started. The Hunter says, "Hey Matt. I don't know if I'm doing this message thing right, but I hope this works. I love playing your games and I'm wondering about your future games. Care to shed light about them? I hope you get this message, man." MDickie says, "I hope to bring all of the most popular 2D adventures to 3D as well. School Days is on the top of my list, as well as Super City, except that one will be a lot harder." J3T says, "Hi Matt. I wanted to know, what is your favorite game that you've made?" MDickie says, "The 2D remake of the U Testament means the most to me, because for 10 years nobody ever believed that was a good concept. To do justice to it and have it be one of my most highly rated games was quite a turnaround." Rory Awesome says, "Hi Matt. Any plans to remake your 2D mobile games for PC? I love the work you are doing for the new wrestling game and would love to play your recent creative games like School Days, Hard Time, etc. in a 3D environment." MDickie says, "PC versions always exist, but it's hard to find a way to release them that won't end with piracy. All I can say is I'd like to find a mutually beneficial way to include PC again." Warbut Beastie says, "Hey Matt, couple questions. First of all, can I be in your new game? I'll have got a character planned and everything. Second of all, after your new game, do you plan to make any more? Last but not least, what made you make the games you have already made and the upcoming one?" Dickie says, "I used to let people into the games, but there's too many people now and it wouldn't be fair to the millions left out. I make the games I would want to play, and see how many people agree with me." Hunky Woman says, "Hello MDickie, will you be optimizing your game for Windows 10 cause it does not run smoothly? Keep making sports games and other games cause they are great fun. Thank you for making these amazing games and I hope you keep doing it." Dickie says, "Those games are at least 12 years old now, so I regret that there's nothing I can do for them." Rat says, "Hello MDickie, do you have any plans for School Days updates or such, because we haven't had no updates in a while and I was just wondering if you still work on it." Dickie says, "Sorry, I am no longer able to make games in the old style, but I hope to remake School Days in 3D one day." Dudarnov says, "Hello Matt, I wanted to know what was your experience when shifting to mobile from PC. Also, how did you get away with the Shockmaster mask, Kane mask and the CNN logo? What is your stance on your older PC games being modded?" MDickie says, "The more popular a game is, the more careful I have to be about using names and symbols that I don't own rights to. If anybody ever complained, I would just have to replace them. I got my start modding games myself, so I don't have a problem with people doing it for their own private education or amusement. But I do have to draw the line at encouraging people to redistribute my games for free." Zymes says, "Hi Matt, in your next update, will we have the ability to change and add custom titles with templates you give us in Wrestling Revolution, and are you going to make a community creations, so players can share wrestlers, titles, attires, etc. to expand upon multiplayer?" Dickie says, "I wish I could do more to include fan creations, but I don't see any easy way of doing that in Unity. The belts are hard to customize when you consider there are so many different divisions at so many different promotions. The best I could do this time was introduce different colors." Ratman says, "Where do you think you would be at the moment if Nintendo hadn't given you an opportunity to develop a game? Do you think you would have returned back to the game dev scene either ways?" MDickie says, "Interesting question. I definitely wouldn't have come back as quickly, as bring a wrestling game to Nintendo was a huge attraction, whereas I've already done everything else. This would just be a hobby without Nintendo. Carlzone says, "Hello Matt. Been fan of you since 2012, I love your games ever since I was 5 years old. Now my question is, are your new game gonna be on Android? I know many people asked you this question and I get the fact that there are some people who pirate your games sadly. My second question is multiplayer something everyone wants in your games? I'm fine with the offline stuff but it's up to you. My last question is, are you going to remake your mobile games on Switch? That's all I got. Have a wonderful day and be safe." MDickie says, "Although this version will come to Android eventually, it has yet to catch up with wrestling and booking, at a mostly free price that I cannot improve upon. Basically I don't see any rush. Although the new Nintendo games will be multiplayer on the same screen, I cannot offer online play as it's not compatible with how I make games. I don't ever play online games, so it's not a part of my culture." A Frosty Ghost says, "Hello Matt, my question will be simple. How much longer do you plan to stay on this career path before you decide to retire?" MDickie says, "I see this being another 8-10 year run of Unity games. Then I will be 50 and must surely have better things to do." Michael Brooks says, "Hi Matt, I've played your games ever since Big Bumps, which was in either 2003 or 2004, and it was amazing. My question is, will you add a ladder match to your game? I know a lot of people have asked you for a Money in the Bank match and I know how much you don't like getting copyrighted. I remember when the Hell in a Cell was in your games as a cage and after that you removed it cause people had kept comparing it to WWE's version, but I hope you add at least a ladder match cause that would be really cool." MDickie says, "Sorry, I'm not a fan of wrestlers pretending it takes a long time to climb a ladder, so I would only include it in a game to make fun of it. It's not even a part of the early releases, but I will at least have a ladder as furniture. I prefer to focus on making the combat good in every fight instead of gimmick matches that people hardly ever see." Wrestling Revolution 3D episode says, "Hey Matt, did you ever think that your games are gonna be so famous in the future?" MDickie says, "I thought I was going to be as famous as Eminem when I first started. But then I gave up on that and let my games do my talking, which ironically is when I became successful. Now I'm happy with the way things worked out, because I have all the benefits of being famous with none of the downsides. I would have gone crazy if I got what I wanted when I wanted it,